What's up, everybody, and good evening. As you can see, it's dark outside, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of work to do to get this LS swap in here. So this is part 2 of what will probably be a 6-part series, if I calculated it correctly. But that being said, I can't put an LS motor if it still has a 350Z motor in it. So I've taken way too long to get this engine out of here. It is still in the car, as you guys just saw. I drove it in here. I had to put cats on it. The last video you guys saw, I had to make sure that it was smog so I can get my registration for at least 2 years because of California's stupid laws. So yeah, tonight I figured what better way than to burn the midnight oil and work on a car, my own car. So, ooh, look at the engine looking fresh. But enough of that for right now. We're gonna work on this. And as I told you guys from the very beginning that I was going to document the entire process from start to finish with the old VQ swap, what I had to do to the engine to make it ready so that way it can go into this car. I'm gonna lay down and break down everything that is involved in an LS swap into a 350Z, at least the right way, the way that I wanna do it, the way that we did it on Mike's car, the way that it's proper, so your dash works, that type of stuff. And I'm also gonna be laying out, I don't know if it's gonna be in this video or when I get the rest of the pieces, but I really want to lay out. I get a lot of questions, a lot of DMs on Instagram, I get a lot of questions on here on YouTube that, hey, what do you need for a LS swap? How much is the budget? All this type of stuff. So I want to clear that up. I want to make an entire list that I can put out. I'm going to post it probably on my Instagram, and I also want to post it maybe in the comment section for you, or maybe I'll put a post up in video so you guys can pause the video and you're able to see exactly what you need, how much stuff costs, different routes that you can go, and that. So that being said, let's get this thing racked up and let's start yanking the motor out of here. Everybody's favorite noise. Okay, so as you guys can see what it looks like for the last time, the front on, everything in together. I got a couple of these boxes over here I'm gonna have to put together because I do have to send this engine off to New Jersey. That's where the giveaway winner was at. And so I'm gonna have a bunch of parts and pieces from the supercharger and all the other stuff that I'm gonna have to stack in the boxes next to the engine for when they ship it. So yeah, it's about to be a long night. Okay, and before I get started, you guys have all seen, you've seen my videos on how I take things apart. So first things first, what I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna take the strut bar off, I'm gonna take off the carbon cover, and then I'll probably relocate this. One thing I don't know if I've ever showed you guys, I usually take this out and I relocate it to sit right on here, and it still works on there. But that way, when you remove the whole front off the car, the hood still stays up. So yeah, little tech tip. But I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna drain the coolant, get the headlights out, take the bumper off. So the next time you'll probably see, whoa, excuse me. The next time you'll probably see this is all of this will be missing. So I'm not gonna do a full how-to on all of this stuff. You guys have seen that before. I have a how-to video on how to take the front apart, but I just wanted to let you guys know that's pretty much the way that it breaks down, and I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna get to work because there's a lot of work to do right now. Okay, and before I go any farther, I took off the bumper and I totally forgot about my bash bar. Look at this candy red paint on the bash bar. If you saw my video, the paint video, you would have seen it, but I hardly have the bumper off, and so even I forget about it. So I took it off and I saw that and I said, whoo, look at that. Okay, so we're making progress. If we look and see, it is 10:25. And we got the front end off. See the blower, everything's pretty much ready to be disassembled. This takes the extra steps, dealing with the supercharger, all the piping and all that type of stuff. So we are on a roll. We're just gonna let the coolant drain, and then I'll be able to put it up in the air and start taking the stuff underneath off. And late night hangs as I'm working. Whoo! Man, I'm not gonna give you guys a glimpse of it yet. He's gonna do it on his video, so I'm shutting it off. All right, so I've kind of lost track of time, kind of got lost doing this stuff, but you can see I have the wiring pretty much out. It was just a big rat's nest of wiring for this little box that comes with it, and then it's wired into the bottom here. You can see the pigtail going in. So I've pulled all the stuff out and I'm setting it on top of the motor, trying to take it out and as big of one piece as possible. And then, yeah, it'll come out and I can clean everything else up when it's out of the car. All right, so I'm taking the cats out and then I'm gonna take off the sub or the cross member, and then I'll take out the drive shaft. And then this whole thing is actually gonna come out as one unit. All right, so we are almost done. I have the trans mount stuff is all over here. I have a jack underneath. You can see holding the tranny up. And then everything up here is pretty much placed on top of the motor. The only thing I'm gonna have to do tomorrow, it's getting late, I'm not gonna stay much later, I just wanna get the engine out, is I have to take off the secondary fuel pump, all this to the FMU, and then to the hard lines on the car. But that's not attached to the engine, so I don't really have to worry about it. I just have to be careful as it comes up, and then, yeah, it'll be out of the car. All right, and we got jacking it up. Pretty much came up and came out. Kind of hard doing this with one hand, but you get the picture. Just like that. Engine done in 2 hours. So the last thing I'm gonna have to do, like I said, is pull off the secondary fuel and the FMU because it goes to the hard lines. These are kind of a pain in the ass to get off. And then I'll clean up the fuel lines and yeah, clean up the engine bay and get this out of here. Look at this fool.
It's cold.
Bundled up.
It is cold than a bitch.
I mean, I'm all right.
I was over there, way over there, away from the heat.
Yeah, that thing doesn't blow though. Anyway, like, engine's done. What? Yeah, blowing. I knew that was coming. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'm gonna come back in the morning. We're gonna take the rest of this stuff off. I'm gonna get the trans off, and then we're gonna put all this stuff together so I can box it up. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Okay, it's a new day and I'm coming back. I just came over here to unlock my toolbox and set something down, and I guess I noticed this. I guess I nicked the line. I'm always telling you guys to be careful about it, and look, I nicked it myself. But this kind of gives me an idea. So this annoying problem with this metal line and all this stupid crap on here kind of gives me an idea. I'm gonna try and fix this, and I'm gonna try and make something, and if it does work, then I'm gonna try and put them on cars, try and make it where they're available to sell to people. So I don't know, but this like stupid metal line is kind of pissing me off. So I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna run across the street over to the auto parts store and see if I can get some stuff to build something that we're not gonna have to run into this problem anymore. So yeah, happy Saturday. I mean, we're gonna keep grinding. Okay, so I ran across the street. I pulled this line off that goes between here and here, and I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. So I got some parts on order. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to have it done probably for this video, but I will mention it later on. I will show how I did it and what I used and that type of stuff. And then, you know, if I'm able to put kits together to be able to build them and sell them, I will do that. So yeah, moving on. I'm gonna get this thing off the rack and I'm gonna probably put it outside, pressure wash it, clean it off, and then we're gonna have to pull off all of this stuff like I mentioned earlier. I'm also gonna have to pull off all of the factory power steering stuff, all of these lines that come to here, because the LS doesn't use any of that. So the only thing that the LS does use is on the rack is the hard lines that stay on here. The ones that come here that feed to the pump and to the reservoir are actually on the engine itself. And I got some chase bays. Actually, I didn't go with chase bays this time. I went with chase bays for the LS6. I went with Sicky this time. They make a similar kit that goes from the power steering pump down to the rack and then back to the return. So I'll lay that out. I'll show you everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to pull off all that. And it's gonna be way nicer too, because there's not gonna be any of this crap on here. It's just gonna be empty, look good. I have to take off all of this fuel stuff because this fuel stuff doesn't get used for the LS also. So Okay, so I'm gonna get the stuff to spray down on the engine bay, and then I'm gonna get the hose out and we're gonna clean it up. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably do it one more time before I do put the motor in, but you can see everything's all nice. Don't pay any attention to that, but everything else is nice. You can see, and I'm sure you guys are gonna ask what happened here. When I put the first LS6 in, it actually got caught here, and when I tried pulling it out, it pulled on here. It was a big mess. So thankfully, the new motor, you're not gonna really see it. I'll probably have the heater lines going over it. So that's the only flaw. Sorry about it. It's not perfect. It's a drift car, but whatever. Yeah, so done here. I think I'm gonna push it over here. My homie Jamar, if you guys don't know who he is, Jamili on Instagram, one of Mike's closest friends from when he was a child. He's actually gonna come over here, and that red Z over there, we're gonna knock out a clutch. So I'm pretty much wrapping up with this. There is one other thing I'm gonna do though. I got some hardware for the pan like I was telling you guys. So I'm gonna put the hardware on the pan on, and then I'll probably put the motor mounts on as well. And yeah, that'll probably wrap it up for this vlog. But as I was saying earlier in the vlog, was it earlier? I don't know, my days have like melted together. But I was talking about putting together a whole list of everything needed for the LS swap, and I'm still going to do that. I figured because all of my ISR stuff isn't gonna get here until, I don't know, maybe the end of next week. When I have everything laid out, I'll be able to put the engine and trans together. I'll be able to document it as it's going together so you guys can see firsthand every piece that is put on it, what is needed, what's necessary to modify going into a Z or G. So I will continue to explain that. So hold tight, it's coming, I promise. It's kind of a little bit jumbled right now just because I had to take the engine out of that, and you know, it's not focused solely on the LS stuff just yet. But yeah, that's coming. So I'm gonna push this over here. Hopefully I can push it over there. It's just me today, but shouldn't be that bad. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll get started on the rest of the stuff for the LS. Okay, so I was gonna push this in by myself, but I figured Jamar's coming over, so why kill myself? So instead of doing that, I pulled the engine out and I pulled the mounts out and everything that came in the kit to show you guys exactly what you should be getting and the orientation and all that. So pull the engine out a little bit so I can walk around it. But you'll see it's pretty basic that you get. The other thing that is in here is you get the rear mount, and then you get the cross member. That's still in there. We're not doing anything with the trans right now, so I'm gonna leave it alone. So as far as the mounts go with the engine, you can see that I have 2 mounts. I have 2 of the shackles that go on the subframe in the car. I have 8 bolts, 4 per each side. We have these 2. These go through here to hold it to the shackle, and then these 2 are the ones that go and bolt this to the subframe. So first things first, when we were doing Mike's, we have the same exact kit, the ISR kit, and I had gotten it wrong. They were on backwards. Yeah, I messed up. But here, I'm gonna cut to the clip so you guys can see exactly what happened.
Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth.
What's the truth?
You mounted them backwards.
No, shut up. You know what? Hold on. Okay, so we already did this in Mike's video. I have to do it in my own video. Anybody that works on cars knows right-hand side is a passenger. Left-hand side is the driver. I mounted it exactly as they said. So if you guys got problems, contact ISR about it because that wasn't on me, so. Okay, so now you guys see that it was a little bit misleading, so we're not gonna do that this time. One thing that I did realize that's very easy to remember is you want the bar to go towards the front of the motor. I mean, if they would have said that, probably wouldn't have messed that up. If you do it this way, the engine sits out away too far. So just make sure that the bar is closest to the front of the motor, and that'll be good. So this isn't gonna be real long, real extensive. I wanted to lay out everything that there was to show you. And yeah, we're gonna get those on. And then the last thing we're gonna do, I did get hardware for the pan. Take these ugly, disgusting things off of here and put some stainless ones on there, make it look good. So then the pan will be done, the mounts will be done, and then I'll be waiting on the rest of the stuff for the transmission. So we're gonna get started on that. Okay, and just like that, it's done. You can see now I have the mounts on. One good tip to keep all the hardware together, since I'm not using it just yet, I'll just put it on here very lightly, so that way I keep it all together. I don't have to throw it all back in the box, wonder where parts went, and it's on. So these are tightened down to what they're gonna be. These are just loose for when I need to go put them in, real easy to take off. But I'm gonna do that to that, and then we're done with the mounts. So after that, we'll just do the pan, and then we'll be able to call it. All right, so a little bit of time has passed. You can see it's dark. Like I mentioned earlier, Jamar came by, and then we were trying to work on a car that has been sitting here for a little while that we needed to get done. So he came here, we started grinding on it. My camera was like almost dead. So now I'm updating you, but you can see now with the engine, I have all of the new hardware on. It's all stainless, looks really good. So the pan, complete. I'm probably gonna put an oil temp sensor here or something to that matter, and then I gotta do the dipstick, but I'm gonna do that a little bit later. I still need to figure out kind of the length, cut it down because it's not set for the pan. It's kind of a universal one. So, but I do have, the mounts are all here. I mean, the engine's coming together. Tell me what you guys think about it. Any changes I should do, but I want it to stay kind of like an ode to that engine in the engine bay. I kind of want it to be like murdered out, you know, and just look real clean. I don't want to go overboard on it. So, but yeah, I think that's it. I think it's time to call the vlog. I don't really have anything else that I can do to it right now. Like I said, probably in a couple days I'll have all the rest of the stuff to start putting the trans on. I am gonna have to pull that stuff out, but whether you guys see it or not, it's really not that big of a deal. All I have to do is kind of undo these bolts to pull this off, undo the bolts under here, pull this off, and then disconnect it from the fuel line and pull this off. And then I'll just, you know, take the power steering stuff off, kind of clean up the engine bay because I don't need it, because it's all gonna be self-running right off the engine here. So I appreciate you guys for watching this, yet another vlog, kind of the road to the LS swap. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. The next one will probably be a little bit more juicy because I'll be able to have all of the stuff to put it together on the trans, explain way more of the pieces that's going on and all that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you're digging the channel. It's been really nice to be able to like vlog for you guys again. So yeah, I've missed y'all. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. You guys mess with me, loyal, and I'm super thankful for you guys. So anyway, much love. Peace.